Our enterprise is a part of a large production association in Perm, which is engaged in the production of medicines. We use various pharmaceutical equipment that meets the requirements and standards of GMP for production, a unit for dehydration of aqueous solutions, and extracts in a fluidized bed apparatus, rotary tablet machines, an automatic line for packaging tablets into plastic film, and foil and other high-tech machines and apparatuses. At the beginning of last year, we received a large order to supply a nasal preparation. We concluded a contract for 2 years. Implementing the order at our company was impossible without purchasing new equipment. We decided to buy new automatic equipment for bottling and capping. It was to provide automatic feeding and filling of the nasal product into 20 milliliters plastic bottles. The capper is used to automatically feed the bottles and closes the neck of the bottle with rubber stoppers and aluminum caps and screw-on caps. We planned to use an atomizer with a cap as the capping element. The material of the equipment had to be durable and hard-wearing. In case of production need, we planned to repurpose the equipment for 20 milliliters nasal solution bottles. This criterion had to be taken into account when purchasing filling and capping equipment. I have been working at our company for 10 years as a chief engineer, and I am used to doing my work with high quality and working only with specialists. I took the choice of a filling machine very seriously. I didn't look for equipment on the internet, because very often a pretty picture hides unprofessionalism. I visited the International Exhibition of Equipment, Raw Materials and Technologies for Pharmaceutical Production, which was held in Moscow. There were many bottling machines on display, companies from all over the world. I chose the 3 most suitable for my requirements, and took contacts from the representatives. It was necessary to agree the selected automatic equipment with the management, and then sign a contract for the supply. Having returned back to the company, I started contacting the representatives of the equipment manufacturers by phone. A company from Germany agreed to supply bottling equipment, but asked me to come and sign the contract in person. Unfortunately, I could not travel to the EU, as I did not have a visa, and the visa process would have taken at least 3 months. One company from China sent me a catalog of products in the mail. I chose for a long time, but I could not figure out whether the equipment can fill bottles of plastic. What is the allowable volume of bottles? A third manufacturer from Krasnodar listened to me and replied that he could make the equipment only 6 months, citing the large volume of orders. I had to refuse, since I needed the machine in the shortest possible time. The contract for the supply of nasal preparations was already signed, and we could not wait so long for automatic equipment for bottling and capping. The machine had to be found, and I realized that I could not do it alone. This made me a little less confident. Here, however, I was helped by the manager of a company in Krasnodar, who advised me a specialist in the supply of pharmaceutical equipment, which would be able to find another option of equipment. Following his advice, I contacted a specialist intermediary of a Russian company. At that time I had no idea that I was doing the right thing. The manager of the company in Moscow listened to me, asked a few questions on the material of bottles, the required productivity, the error tolerance of dosing equipment. I was pleased with his professional and business-like approach. After a preliminary consultation, he suggested 2 options for filling equipment, which differed in the boundaries of the dosage and performance. Specialist of this company emailed a video of the proposed machine variants, which clearly demonstrates the equipment itself and its capabilities. I showed these 2 machines to the management, and we agreed on the line, which provides dosage from 10 milliliters to 100 milliliters. A week later we made a contract for automatic equipment for bottling and capping plastic bottles. The manager asked for a sample of our bottle to test it on the machine. Before justifying the equipment, the specialist sent a video of our equipment. Empty plastic bottles are placed in a storage bin. The vials are guided by a conveyor to a 12-meter dispenser bottling unit. A separate storage bin houses the dispensers for the vials. 40 days after signing the contract, we received the working equipment for bottling and capping, and already in 3 weeks, we started fulfilling the order and delivering nasal preparations to the customer. The machine worked perfectly. There were no malfunctions. Initially, I was skeptical about choosing a manager, relying on my own experience, but I realized that one should always learn and not be afraid to trust a professional.